Fighting erupted as the Bosnian army and Croat commanders were meeting to try to break the growing tension in Travnik. They left to try to calm the gunmen, but by then the town was in chaos. Mortars fell all around the centre. There were single rifle shots and machine gun bursts from all directions. For several hours it was impossible to leave shelter without great risk. Snipers in the hills found the smallest opening. At a checkpoint west of the city, a convoy of buses carrying home Bosnian migrant workers, most of them Muslims, was hit by mortar fire. 2 were killed, 14 were wounded. Travnik's been described as a tinderbox. It's been threatening to explode for weeks. Ambulances had to run the gauntlet of snipers to get to the hospital. They brought casualties from both sides, many of them seriously wounded. But there weren't enough surgeons to cope. Many doctors were trapped at home by the fighting. Martin Brunt, Sky News, Travnik. Martin Brunt for CBS News, Travnik.
Where's the box? Where's the magic box?
You got bars? Well done, that's nice, that looks good.
Yeah?
Looks very good. Double up.
Yeah, somewhere.
You got your earpiece?
Hey?
They're running it.
It's looking nice.
Looking alright, mate.
Right, might take about a minute and a half.
Where's the magic box? I need to plug it in channel 4.
Hey, okay, it's back there, I'm afraid.
Are you happy with bars?
Nothing going into it anyway.
No, it's all going straight into what happens here. Okay.
Right, so how much of the programme?
Where's your iris?
You can't, no.
Hey?
Not easily, no.
Hang on there.
Forget it, doesn't matter.
I can hear them, it's alright.
Got it, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hit me with the picture, come on.
Hey?
Thank you, right.
Happy with the picture?
Yeah, it'll do.
Can you give me a level?
Okay, I'll be talking something like this. Can you cope with that level?
Hang on.
London, it's Martin Brunt in Vitesse. Are you hearing me? Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me if I keep talking about this level? Are you going to be able to hear me? Okay, I can speak up. They can hardly hear us in London.
Max in shot. Goes again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Do you want me to give you some time? Very quick.
Okay. I think they've gone out of our package now, so... Is it still 4 dead? They've gone into another package, so we're okay. Did anybody check in with the press office about latest figures? No, don't worry. Okay.
So have a look at this. Do you want to hold it, mate?
You want to kill this light?
No, it looks good.
Okay.
Backlight. Do you want to tell us how you want your picture there, mate?
The what?
Tell me what picture you want in there for the background.
What can we get?
Well, there's you've got the doors, you've got the lights, you've got.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the
You want me to
stuff?
shut that door because the BBC News vehicles?
Yeah, it looks okay. You can't see them.
You can't see them.
Can't see it.
Too dark.
You can slap a Sky sticker on it.
Oh, sorry.
And during the interview, we'll go. Alright?
I'll go.
Don't do that.
What the heck?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't.
During the tour.
Just warn me if you do, because I'll put a limiter in.
Yeah, should I do that? You're in shot.
Might have to be just a bit. Stuart, you either come in or stay out.
Baron of Stickham, it's the director Sky here, coming to you very shortly. You can speak to Vivian Krieger.
Okay.
Down a bit, mate. Yeah. You happy with the light?
Quick level mark.
Okay, I'll be talking something like this.
Fine.
I like this position. Yeah, it looks pretty neat, doesn't it? So it looks like a wall somewhere.
Looks like you're in a bunker.
Yeah, we are.
You're a bit flat now.
There we go, I think.
Hello, Mark, it's Adam.
Hello, Adam. Alive? Didn't you see the package? Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, what's the latest from Travnik? To a limited extent, yeah. No, we heard it had erupted and we went straight there and it was just erupting all around us. And we passed the buses just before they were hit.
Sure. So you were really close to it?
We're right in the middle of it.
Okay, mate, we'll be coming to you next.
Well, I think that the women in there was doing extremely well. And there was the rest of the state and there
What?
very good women coming along. So I think that we don't want women
What's that?
to be slated just because they're women.
They like the tousled look.
There because they have a contribution to make. And I think
You should stand closer to your razor, mate.
My razor collided with my face a long time ago.
well, I think that the way they're going about it is probably discrimination.
What time are you feeding?
Don't know. Will we finish getting
Men, women only applying for people.
20 minutes,
Absolutely rubbish and
Oh, I've got to
absolutely
not on air, please.
Oh, Nigel.
And that's what people like to have.
You bastard.
He's getting his own back on Sky.
The Prime Minister's speech this afternoon, Baroness, opinions seem to be very much divided on whether he did anything to calm Tory dishes. What is your opinion? Well, I was surprised to see that in the clip that I was watching, but I don't think that.
You got to play the camera.
We had wonderful warm tea.
Martin, are you watching off there up there?
Yes.
Am I watching what?
Off there, because I can hear myself coming back.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's nice to have the shoe on the other foot for a change, isn't it?
By the time somebody listened.
We have this great feeling of love. And I think we have to say that.
Shit, that was close.
A microphone outside.
Work just as they always do.
Mix it in, yeah.
You are, center, the women's hospital are a very receptive audience for him. I mean, what has he done to put down any of the disquiet that there is around him? I think if he leaves the speech that he made, he covered a very wide area, and he certainly gave what's going to happen in the rest of this session and the next, and he was but he reiterated that there's no change of policy, which is heavily criticized for after the cabinet reshuffle. Well, I think that the points that you're making are not ones, but really came over to us. We have signed
to your right, Martin.
and we are enjoying having a conference. We have more tomorrow, and I think that they are all setting out their policies and that's what we need to do. We can't really gloss over the Tory troubles on what to do with the Tory rebels. Well, we're very difficult as a session, and we're just emerging. And obviously, one seriously, they felt that perhaps we were going to come out a little bit earlier, but I think that get through this period, they get rapidly for the and I think that by the end of the year, we're going to have very, very as a policy.
I'm going to leave the session.
To be here. I can't hear him very well. Turn it up. That's better. Well, I left Travnik city centre about an hour and a half ago, and there was still quite a heavy bombardment from both sides. There's been fierce fighting since about mid-afternoon, Laurie, and lesser fighting ever since last night. It appears to have started, we think, with some rather heavy shelling from the Serb forces, who haven't really been involved for some time in Travnik, but they're a few kilometres to the west. 2 or 3 large artillery shells landed last night and caused some devastation, and things have been progressing slowly all through the day. The two leaders, the two military commanders on the Croat side and the Bosnian government side were meeting this morning, and as I say, throughout the day the fighting was escalating. The meeting broke up because of the fighting. The two commanders went back to their headquarters, tried to calm the gunmen, but by then, as I think you've already seen from my report, things were pretty chaotic. The fighting's continued throughout the evening. It's getting heavier. When I left recently, there were mortar shells landing, there was machine gun fire from both sides, single rifle shots. There were ferrying wounded into the hospital. The hospital was coming under sniper fire. There's absolute chaos there tonight. It's difficult to say. We've been warned for some weeks that there would be a big battle for Travnik. Before this war started, it was just about equally split between Croats and Muslims. I think Croats just about had the edge on the number of people living there. And of course, Travnik, under the Owen Vance peace plan, is the capital of one of the Croatian provinces. So obviously, the Croats are very keen to get a good foothold here. And of course, they're encouraged that the Owen Vance peace plan has seemingly been delayed. They're encouraged to sort of put a marker down and try to take control in advance of any implementation. It's difficult at this stage to see to say whether we're seeing the final battle for Travnik that we've been warned about, but shelling's pretty heavy and it's been going on for a long time. I find it very difficult to believe. The Bosnian Serbs have said that they don't want any more UN troops here. The plan has been dismissed by the Bosnian government. It's difficult to see what real difference it's going to make. And talking to UN troops here on the ground, their attitude is, and this is reflected by Boutros Ghali, the UN Secretary General, their attitude is that until you get the various fighting factions to agree to a lasting ceasefire, there's absolutely no point in trying to set up these safe havens. And they say as an example, they use as an example, Srebrenica, where we have UN troops in there already, trying to create this safe haven. It's not working. There's chaos in Srebrenica. If the world powers want to use that as an example of how the safe havens will work, then they're wasting their time. Well, again, the word from the UN troops on the ground is that air power here would be a very blunt instrument. I know we saw from the Gulf War experience that it can be very precise, but apart from that, all that smart bombing we saw, there were lots of incidents where air power wasn't quite the sharp instrument that we were led to believe. And the feeling here is that it couldn't be used in quite the same way. And we're talking about mountain terrain, we're talking about all sorts of areas where artillery guns could be hidden. And the feeling that although air power might be effective as a first strike, after that it wouldn't have the effect that certainly the Americans believe it might do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, chaps.
Right, thanks, Jack.
Rob, look, I'll set the space up as a nighttime.
Artillerieüberfall bei Travnik. Nach mehreren... Ein verheerendes Bild. 4 Busse sind getroffen worden. 2 der Fahrer sind...